All right, hey guys, Jason here. We are up here. We're at Metter Ford today, Sunday. Nobody's here except for customer shopping. But what we want to talk about today is three reasons that I'm not buying used, that I refuse to buy used. Now, they got a used car lot over there, but we are actually just wandering through here, taking a look. This is where I did the review. They had the 4 Tremors up here just a little while ago. And you know what? I don't think I see a Tremor left on the lot here as far as any of this kind of stuff goes. I don't think there's one up here anymore. Well, we might have one down there. I see some wheels. It might be a Tremor down there. But point being is what we want to talk about though today is buying used here. 3 reasons that I don't think it's a good idea. When you buy a used car, and when we say used, we got 2 different categories. We have slightly used, where you can still get warranty and you can still get certified pre-owned, that kind of stuff. And you can do some things there. That's not a bad way to go. And then we also have, you have buying something that's used that's basically wore out. And we do not. We did no Tremors, not a Tremor here. They sold every single one of them. Good for them. Nice to see. I mean, they got trucks scattered everywhere here. They even go, look at them, all the F-150s down there. They got trucks everywhere here. They got a massive lot. Love this place. But so number one issue here for me for buying used is that it's not valuable to me. Now, when I say it's not valuable to me, it means it costs me more money, even though people are going to argue with that and not agree with it. But for example, you pay a higher interest rate. It's usually 3 or 4 points higher on a used truck than it is on a new truck. So if I can come in and buy this and I want to get financing through Ford Credit and I get this truck and I can get this, say, for 3.9% on this amazing F-250 right here, but I get 3.9%, then that's a huge difference. 3.9% on $60,000 or $70,000 is pretty good. But then if I were to buy a slightly used one for, say, $55,000, okay, this is the MSRP, $70,000. Let's just say, let's give you the reality. So here it is. So it comes into play. Take this truck. We're at 90 grand on this one. We got the Super Duty in here, the diesel in here, but let's just leave it here. We'll stay with this, 90 grand. So this truck is 90 grand for the brand new one on a window sticker. And let's say that if I was to buy one, it was, say, 2 years old with 25,000 miles on it, then let's say that price drops down to, let's 90 grand right now. Let's say it goes down to $75,000. Okay, 2 years old, 25,000 miles on it. And, but if I buy this right now at 90 grand on there, I can also knock the price of this down and I can buy this brand new for $75,000. Okay, people have to understand that. I can negotiate this down to $75,000. When you're looking at a used one, you can negotiate a little bit too, but they're not going to take that big of a hit. Where here I can take this down, get it down to $75,000 and pay 3.9%. If they had it listed as used for $75,000 and I got it for $70,000, I'm going to pay 8.5%, 8.59% for the used one. It actually cost me more for the used one than it does the new one. And with the new one, I not only get a 3-year, 36,000 mile bumper-to-bumper warranty and a powertrain warranty, but I also am in that range where I have the option to put the extended factory warranty on it as an original owner, which means it costs me a lot less to do. So I can have that value there. So for me, buying a slightly used vehicle, there's no real power in that for me because the banks screw you over. They do not give you the financing rates. Okay, you don't get that. Now, if you're a cash buyer, maybe things are a little bit different. Might make sense for you. But again, just like I said, I can negotiate this and take this from a $90,000 truck down to a $75,000 when I buy it. Okay, if I'm buying it used and it's 75 grand, I'm not going to get any, I'm only going to save a couple grand, but now I got somebody else's truck that's got 2 years and 25,000 miles on it that I don't know what they did. And I have to pay more for the warranty. So that's one issue for me that I'm not a fan of when it comes to those. Now, I'm not saying they're bad deals. I'm not saying that at all. And again, it varies. I'm just telling you why I personally refuse to. I'm not giving the bank any more money than I have to. And for me, it's not about the actual payment amount. I'm not concerned with the payment. The payment doesn't scare me. What does is the value, the amount that I buy it for versus the amount that I sell it for when I'm done. So if I buy it for $75,000 and I can drive it for 2 to 3 years, with the way things are now and how volatile and ridiculous the used car market is, I'm stretching out a little further, but I'm still, even 80,000. But I drive it for 3 years and 80,000 miles. and I turn around and I sell it, if I bought it for 75 grand, I can do that and I can turn around and sell it for 50, then I've only lost $25,000. Okay, and it's only it's a 3-year-old truck, and it's, you know, it's got 80,000 miles on it, but it only cost me $25,000. See what I'm getting at here? There's value in that versus value in buying something that I bought for 70,000 and I did the same exact thing. Now it's got 100 or 110,000 miles on it and it's now 5 years old. I'm not going to get that. I'm now going to have to, I paid 70,000, but I'm selling it for 30,000. See the difference here? So that's a big factor that we got to take into consideration, or I do. And not to mention the extra points in interest, which when you start talking interest on $70,000 or $75,000, you start adding in another 3 or 4 points of interest. That's insane. That's massive amounts of money. So for me, that's one big factor. The other big factor is now when we start looking at things that are further out. Okay, we start looking at buying things that are getting close to that 100,000 mile category. Whether you buy it at 50 or buy it at 60 or buy it at 40, but when you know that you're going to own it when it gets close to that 100 and something thousand miles, now we have the issues of 2 big factors that I will not play the game of. One of those factors is warranty. I can get an extended warranty out to 120,000 miles. Most manufacturers will do factory warranties. I'm not playing with Car Shield, any of that kind of crap. I want true. If it's a Ford, I want a Ford extended warranty. Okay, so that I can do that kind of stuff and get those options. And what that does for me is it means that I'm always covered regardless of what can happen. Do you have any idea what it costs to repair a vehicle today? I mean, it's insane. The price, I got a whole video coming out on that, on repairability today, what it costs, but it's mind-blowing how much it is. So I promise you, I will never own a vehicle as long as, you know, God, Lord willing, as long as I'm capable enough financially, I will never own a vehicle that's going to be over 100,000 miles. I'm not doing it because of the warranty factor. I want that extended warranty in there all the time. When things go out, they cost a fortune and I don't want to deal with it. Now, we also have the maintenance issue stuff. Okay, if you start getting into things and you get into, again, even Ford here, but all brands have some kind of issues, but you get into something, what do we got here? 3.5. Okay, we got the 3.5 in here, but when you start dealing with like wet belts and things like that, then it's going to cost you a fortune in maintenance. $5,000 in maintenance at 150,000 miles that you got to do to these things. All brands have these little quirks and stuff in there maintenance-wise that cost a tremendous amount. So I don't want to deal with that. I mean, think about that. I'm thinking I'm saving a little bit of money by buying something that's got 40,000 miles on it versus buying something that's got 12,000 miles on it used. The 40,000 mile one, I know I'm going to hit over 100,000 miles, and I'm going to have to dump in $4,000 or $5,000 in maintenance on it, and it's going to be out of pocket. Those items are not covered under warranty. Your replacement of a wet belt is not covered under warranty. It's a wearable item. These are things that you got to take into consideration. So these are a couple factors that really hit home and hit hard for me. Look at here, Toyotas, nice trucks. Toyotas are fantastic. This gen here, fantastic. Pretty easy to work on. I would not buy that one myself. Personally, look at this gem right here, done well, looks really good. But they do a good job on these trucks here. The new Toyota, the new one, the transmission alone, if you have the new hybrid, the new 2025 or 2024 Toyota Tacoma with the hybrid motor, Car Guy Online just did a video about this and showed that example from the dealership in there. But that to replace the transmission, the torque converter that's in the transmission, part of the package, and the hybrid module that sits on there is $27,500 to put a transmission in a new Tacoma. Do you know that for that price, I could probably, not joking, but for the price of putting that transmission in, I could probably buy one of these right here used. Okay, let the reality of that sink in. Okay, that's how crazy these numbers have got today. You know, or you could buy a Sport, a Jeep Wrangler Sport or Gladiator Sport with a good deal for almost that same kind of money. So that's a real huge, crazy factor. Look at this. A lot of people love this stuff. They're like, look at this. Man, look at that long bed standard cab. What a gem. Beautiful. Okay, 2019 XL. It's got the 3.3, which is actually a fantastic motor. But it's here it is right there. But see this big as is, no warranty? As is, no warranty. 72,000 miles on it. Okay, that's a big factor. There's a lot of money that's going to have to go into these vehicles that you're going to have to pay for that's going to hurt pretty bad. And I don't want to deal with that stuff. Look at this one right here. Look at this Toyota right here. Nice truck, great truck. Okay. These mud tires that are on here, these Trail Grappler MTs, these tires that are on here, you are not getting another 5,000 miles out of those. You will not. So then if you want to put the same ones back on it again, you're looking at $2,500, $2,000 right there. You're $2,000 to put those tires back on this thing. So when you buy this, whatever the price is, knock it up $200 more automatically. Okay, these are things I don't want to have to deal with. I don't want to have to mess with. Same kind of thing here too. These destinations, these mud tires, you got about probably, I'm going to say you probably got 15,000 miles left on those tires, and then you're gonna have to replace them. Okay, these are wear factors. Okay, same here. Look at this Mojave. Okay, these are Falcons, my favorite tire, but look at how low they're getting. Not gonna be long. You're gonna need to change that stuff. That costs money. Everything on a used car is already costing money when you get it. Brakes, you're gonna have to put brakes on it. You're gonna have problems. You're probably gonna have to do some coolant flushes. You're probably gonna have to do some stuff to it. That all costs money. If you're not afraid to work on them, more power to you. Me, I don't want to. I don't want to deal with it. I want to get the absolute best possible price I can on a new vehicle to where I buy all my equity up front and can save that. And I'm talking, big percentages down. Minimum 10%, hopefully closer to 20% off of the price. I get it. I don't worry about it. Here's another one. Same thing. People are like, oh, look at this. Look at those amazing tires on. Those tires are junk. These tires are done. These tires are, throw them away right now. They're garbage. They won't do anything for you. You're literally going to get like another 2,000 or 3,000 miles on them. And then this one here is going to cost you $3,000 to put tires on it. Okay, but that's the reality today. And it is what it is. But for me, I'm not playing these games. I'm not doing this stuff. I'm not buying used. And then I also have to contend with the 10,000 mile oil change thing. I'm not dealing with that. What is this one here? How many miles are on this? Toyota's famous for their 10K. How many miles are on this thing? This is a 2016 with 120,000 miles on it. Okay, 118,000 miles on this thing. Do you know that means that this entire time that this thing has been here, it might only have been, and it's a 2016, and if they do every 10,000 mile oil changes, this might not even have 12 oil changes, and it is a 9-year-old vehicle with 120,000 miles on it, and it might not even have had 12 oil changes in its whole life, according to the manual. Let the power of that sink in. I'm not playing those games. I'm not dealing with other people's problems. I'm not dealing with their headaches. I want my new vehicle. I want an incredible price on it. I want it with warranty. I want a factory extended warranty, and I want to be able to drive it for a few years and sell it and make money on it, or at least not lose too much money. That's my goal. Questions, comments, put them down below. Let me know what you're thinking.